This is probably going to be the most time-consuming part of your detail because you got a lot of little bits and pieces that you have to take care of. You basically have two of everything. You got two doors, two seats, two carpets. Actually, four carpets if you got a back seat. And then you got two more seats in the back. So this is going to spend a lot of time. Then you've got the window ledge in the back if you have one of those. So you got the inside windows. So this is where you're going to spend a lot of time on your car. So you got your carpets, your dash, your steering wheel, your instruments, your console, your seats. So you'll spend a lot of time here. So we'll talk about each individual component. Your dash, your instruments, and steering wheel. Begin by dusting and cleaning with a damp microfiber cloth. So I'll take a cloth, I'll get it wet, I'll wring it out just so it's damp, and I'll just go over everything to break up to get the loose dust off. And then I'm going to let it dry. To clean the hard to reach pieces, you can clean the junk and trash from your console. You can use something new, and I have a bottle of it in there. There's a brand new product that I just discovered it this year. It's great. It's absolutely great. It's a water-based product. It's called gel. And what you do, how many people had a hard time cleaning your vents? People get in there with brushes and everything. You take this stuff, you put it in there and molds into the vents, let it sit, pull it out, it pulls all the dirt out. Cup holders. Put this in the cup holders, let it mold in there, and then pull it out, pulls all the dirt out from the bottom of the cup holders. Ashtray components. You know, we don't use ashtrays, but all the cars have ashtrays in them. You just put this in, pull it out. Instruments, like your steering wheel has all the controls in it. Just mold this into your steering wheel, pull it out. It'll leave a little film because it's a water-based product, but then you just use your quick detail and it comes right off. Some people will use a vacuum cleaner and a brush. Or a rag. The what?
It's called Super Clean.
Oh, it's called Super Clean. It's a gel. You get it from Amazon. Here, you want to feel it? Super Clean. It's what's that stuff kids used to use from
Slime.
slime? It's like slime. Yeah, it's like slime. If you don't use that, you take your vacuum cleaner, use your brush to break it up, have your vacuum cleaner clean it off. One thing you do not want to do is use your vacuum cleaner on your navigation or your command screen. Because what it's going to do, it's going to scratch it, and once it gets scratched, you can never get those scratches out. And that's why I like that slime, because I did the car the other day. Well, when I did the inside of the car the other day, I just used that slime. I just put it on the damn command screen, pulled it off, it leaves a little residue, and then I take a little quick detailer with a microfiber and clean it off, and it looks brand new. Doesn't scratch anything. I made the mistake in one car of using a vacuum cleaner tube on it, and it had scratches on it until I got rid of the car. You throw it away.
So you only use it once?
The what?
Just use it one time?
No, you keep what happens is as you use it, it'll start, it's just like your clay bar, it'll start getting impurities in it, and then you just do that, mold it, shape it up, get to a clean spot, throw it in there, it'll settle back down, and then use it again. When you order it from Amazon, you get two in a bag. You get two, and then plus you get a small detailing brush kit with it. So get everything clean. If you've got stains or something on your center console, you know, where your armrests sit, maybe you've got some oil on there or something from your skin, just take a multi-purpose cleaner and then just clean that off. And I use, see that brown bottle right there, Diana? That's Vinyltex. That's made by Lexol. I just moved it into a smaller bottle so it'll fit into my kit. I'll use that with a microfiber, and I'll just rub that and it'll pull that dirt right. If you have a little bit of trouble with it, then I use a toothbrush to get into the grain and pull that out. And then when I get all that finished, you know, I've got the whole interior of the car finished, then I'm going to go ahead and apply a protectant to it. And I do not use Armor All. If you've ever seen Armor All, it looks really nice and shiny, and then 2 days later it's got all kinds of dirt and dust on it. Also, it has the fact that it's got silicone in it, and it will just start breaking down your plastic after a period of time. So if you ever take your car to a car wash and you're going to get one of these full car washes, they're going to wash it and dry it and clean the interior, tell them, don't use Armor All. And then they'll do the Armor All on your steering wheel, and your hands go like this because they're slippery as heck. My steering wheel, what I use on my steering wheel is Lexol, because it's a leather steering wheel. It's got a leather wrap on it. I'll use that to clean it off. The wood trim, I'll take my quick detailer, I'll take a microfiber, I'll spray it on there, and I'll just take all the wood trim on the doors, the center console, the dash, and I'll use that on the wood trim. Just give a nice finish. The nice thing about this, it does have UV protection on it, so it'll help preserve the wood finish. And then leather cleaner or polish on all your leather trim. And this is where people don't realize. They clean the top sill of a door. They forget all about that vinyl and leather that's underneath that. So you want to clean that whole thing. You got pockets in your doors, right? You can use the vacuum cleaner, or you can use this to get into those pockets and pull that stuff out. The pockets on some of the cars, you can't even get in with a vacuum cleaner hose or tube. And I just saw a new product now. It's multiple tubes. It fits into a vacuum cleaner. Some guy invented it. He took like straws, flexible straws, and he combined them up in a little tube, and they're very flexible, and you can get in there and you can vacuum, and they fold around. But you know, it depends how much you want to get into it. Next slide. Oh, here's some product. Go back one slide, Dinah. Here's products. There's some people cleaning it with the vacuum cleaner and a brush. There's the gel, plenty of microfiber towels. All-purpose cleaner, I use Fabuloso. Some people will use the green stuff.
Simple green.
Simple green, some people will use 409. It's just that if you have some grease on it, you want some type of a degreaser to get the grease out of the vinyl or the plastic. And then I use a quick detailer for the wood, and I'll use Lexol for the leather. And when I do my dash, I use the Lexol Vinyl Tex. And that's got UV protection in it. And the nice thing about it is, I don't like the dash to be shiny at all. I want it to be kind of a matte finish. So that gives a nice matte finish, plus it gives UV protection as well. The console. Why don't we keep changing? All right, I'm getting ready to do the console. That wet microfiber that I had, I'm dusting the whole console with the wet microfiber. I'm dusting the whole console with the wet microfiber. And here's where some people make a mistake. They do the top of the console and it looks real good. They forget you got two sides that go down to the carpet. So you got to do those as well. So clean the top, clean the sides. The sides, I'll use Vinyl Tex on the sides because just to finish it up and clean it. And then I'll clean the top part where the storage area is. And then I'll clean the cup holders using this. And then I'll just finish the whole thing off with Vinyl Tex to finish that all, to protect it. And I'll use quick detail or microfiber to clean all the wood, to polish all the wood. Doors trim. Again, dust and clean first with a damp cloth. You do that all ahead of time. Clean your hard to reach places, door storage, pockets, center console storage. Clean junk and trash from the console storage. In car shows, they're not going in your center console at all, but periodically you want to get the junk out of it. You'd be surprised how many wrappers and stuff you end up with in those things. So just clean it out. Use a vacuum to pull out some of the dust, or you can use the gel product to pull the dust and dirt out. Use an all-purpose cleaner to remove any stains or grime. After you finish, apply an interior protectant with UV protection. use wax on the wood trim, and use leather cleaner on any leather surfaces. Seats. Again, damp microfiber. Use a leather cleaner or conditioner for seat surfaces. Use an upholstery cleaner for fabric. Use a soft toothbrush. You know, just get yourself a soft, you even got a used toothbrush that's pretty worn down, it's pretty soft. Just use one of those and then use that to get any little stains out. Don't use a stiff brush or anything, or don't use any type of a, if you've got oil or dirt in there, a solvent. Don't use any type of a solvent. What it will do, it will take the dye out of your leather. You'll have a nice white spot where you use that solvent. Trust me, Karen's last car, she left a bottle, it fell over on her seat and it leaked out. And so when she got rid of that car, she had 3 nice dots in the center of her seat and could not get out. One other thing, I have light interior, so I use a cover on the driver's side. You can order them. If you order a seat cover or any type of seat protectant, I will give you a bit of advice that costs me a hell of a lot of money. Do not get anything that's got a black urethane finish on the back side. Because what happens is that black urethane will leach out into your white seat cover. My last convertible had a light gray interior. I took that seat cover out, I was getting ready to clean the car and I almost died. The whole interior was a nice shade of yellow from that black leaching out of that foam that was on the back of that seat cover. It cost me $300 to have those seats steam cleaned 3 times to try to get that color out. And it got to the point you could almost see that they were light gray. The next option was replace all the seats. The third option was trade the car and buy something else. I chose the third option.
How about the first option? Don't put seat covers.
And the first option is don't buy those seat covers. I just give you a bit of advice. They sound really nice. They're supposed to protect you. They're waterproof and all that stuff. But boy, I'll tell you what, it cost me a fortune to get it almost to look normal. So I use Lexol for fabric or carpeting. I might use Resolve. I use a stiff brush if I got something on the carpets. If I have nobody has fabric seat covers anymore. And then there's my toothbrush on the side, and then microfiber towels. Now you can see why I have 50 or 60 of them. Carpets. Take your floor mats out first. Now, in my car right now, I have a set of WeatherTechs. I put them in for the winter, and I'll keep them in probably, I'll take them out for the car show. Take those out. I'll take the Mercedes ones that come in it. I'll take those out. I'll shake them out. I'll put them on the outside of the car. I'll vacuum the heck out of the inside of the car, making sure I can get to everything. If I've got stains on the car, if I've got stains on the carpeting, I'm going to use a cleaner. I'll use Resolve cleaner. There's a vacuum cleaner. I have a small portable carpet shampooer. And I'll use that carpet shampoo if the carpets are really, really dirty. And I'll use that to shampoo the carpets and then I'll let them dry. If I've got a stain in the carpet, I'm going to use Resolve to try to break that stain up. If the stain is really bad, I'm using a stiff brush, and that's the one with the red handle. If it's really, really bad, you can use this brush that goes into a drill. It's a circular brush, and it'll just go around and it'll really get down and it'll work that surface and try to break that dirt up. And after that, I'll let it all dry. If you want, it's totally up to you. You can seal it with Scotch Guard. I don't use Scotch Guard, but some people will. Don't use Scotch Guard on your leather. Not meant for that. It's meant for fabric. It's to keep waterproof on it. When you get done with the interior, it's all dried. You can put your floor mats back in. When you get to the car show, you take the floor mats out. Yeah, Diana can talk about it. She uses blue coral. I've never used it.
It is really, really neat. I don't know what's in this thing, but they call it a dry clean. And it smells good. You know, you don't make the car.
Okay, so that's carpeting.
Okay?
No, but I know people who have. Joanne Taylor, she's got a 129 just like yours. I think hers is an AMG model though. But anyway, she's got a 129, and her carpeting got really, really faded. So she had two choices: replace it or dye it. And there's a guy. He does a lot of work for Tim's Upholstery. He will dye your carpeting, and her carpeting looks great now. It looks like it's brand new.
He asked who.
Huh?
He asked who did it. Tim?
Well, it's somebody that she got through Tim's Upholstery. I'll call Joanne and ask her who the guy was that dyed her carpets. So now we get to the engine. So what we have here is a 107, a 129, no, 129, and then a newer engine with the twin turbos on it. So one thing about the engine, my philosophy is, and some people have a different philosophy, clean what you can reach. I mean, I don't take off the engine cover, I don't take off anything. I clean what I can reach comfortably. And a lot of things is you can get under stuff like this, and this is where I don't use microfiber cloths. I'll just get old t-shirts, old drags, and I'll use those to clean the engine. And I'll use a degreaser. I'll use Fabuloso, some people use 409, some people use Simple Clean, just to degrease different parts of the engine. So you want to get to what you can reach. Go to the next slide, Diana. Use old rags with the degreaser. Clean all the surfaces you can easily reach and that are visible. Clean underneath the hood. This is one thing. You lift that hood up. Some people take real good care of the top of the engine. They look up. They forget that hood. And there's a lot of surfaces on there that are going to have grease and stuff coming up from the engine. So you just clean all those painted surfaces off with degreaser and a rag. Another thing, there's some parts of the engine that you can't reach very easily. I use these. These are barbecue skewers. And what I'll do is I'll break off a piece of towel or rag, and I'll use this and I'll get into areas that I can't get my fingers into. A guy in North Carolina showed me this trick.
Use long Q-tip.
Well, this is a long Q-tip. This is a long Q-tip, except I got 12 inches of reach on
But
this.
a Q-tip actually has a cotton thing.
Right, but it only has 4 inches of reach. I got,
Oh, they make one.
I've never had a long one.
Well, you obviously haven't had the COVID-19 test. Have you seen those?
Oh, God, no. I haven't had the COVID-19 test. So, clean underneath the hood. Now, when you get all that grease off the painted surfaces, use a quick detailer to clean it up, make it look nice. The one thing you don't want to do with your engine compartment, and Diana will attest to this, wasn't it you that got gigged on that? Too shiny?
Yeah.
You don't want to make the engine you don't want to make that compartment too shiny. We were at a show at Mercedes-Benz one year, and I don't know if it was you, but somebody got points taken off
I did, but
because their engine compartment was too shiny.
I could attest, I could send that judge, I could send you pictures of what that engine looked like from the day that I brought it home from the dealership, and it was just the same.
And that was your CLS, wasn't it? Yeah.
But don't overshine.
Don't overshine it. One of the things you do want to watch out for, especially in some of the older engines like the 107s and 129s, you have the reservoir, the coolant reservoir. You want to make sure you because sometimes you get some overflow and you get a little discoloration in there, like a little green or something from the antifreeze that comes out. Get a small brush, get some cleaner, and get in there and clean that out, because you will get gigged for that. Another thing on the 129 is in the front, just by, I forgot where it is exactly, but we're at a car show, and I thought that engine looked great. And the judge goes and he takes his finger, he goes like that underneath, he says, grease, 1/4 point. So I learned from that, take a rag, put degrease on it, and anything I can get my fingers under, I clean it off. And that's as much as I'll do to the engine. And if I can get my fingers down along the wheel wells that come in, I'll clean those off. If I can't, I'll wrap a rag around this and I'll get in there and clean it as much as I can. And then I'll finish it off with just a detailer, just to get it look good.
Is there a place that you can go to buy insulation?
Yeah, you can take it to any shop. Here's the thing with insulation. I had to put it in 2 cars. I put it in my 107 and I put it in my 129. If you're going to have it put in, make sure that they put a sheet or a big drop cloth on the top of your engine, because they're going to spray an adhesive and it's going to drip down. And the first time that the hood cover was done in my 129, they didn't do that, and I had drops of glue on the top of it. It took me forever to get that stuff off.
What I have in my car, mine's a 23-year-old Westall 500, and what I have on my car looks like a map. It's just been cemented.
Yeah, they replace that mat, but they glue it in. And so what they do is they pull that mat out first. And if you don't put a cover over the top of the engine, all that junk will fall into your engine. So if you're going to do that, you tell them, put a drop cloth there, you're going to pull that off, and you're going to spray a glue. They're going to clean that. They're going to clean it off so they can put a new glue on it, and that glue will drip.
Do I need to take it to a Mercedes?
The what?
Do you need to take it to a Mercedes?
Yeah, well, they're all custom made for it. I don't know if they have aftermarket hood liners or not. You know if they do, Gary?
Well, they do, but I wouldn't use them. If you're going to do Concours, buy the Mercedes car.
Right.
They're not that expensive.
Okay, Mercedes can do it, they'll take it to
You can take it to the dealer, they'll do it. But just make sure you tell them, use a drop cloth on the top of the engine. Because you will get gigged for glue. If there's glue droppings or anything on the engine, it literally took me years to get, I had that SL for about 5 or 6 years. It took me years to get all those little pieces of glue, because as soon as I thought I had it all clean, I'd find another drop somewhere. And I use, I don't know how much, what do you call that stuff that you spray on, goof off or something? I used goof off to get that, to try to break that glue up. Yeah, goof off. So yeah, you can replace those. And we want to replace them, because if we look at it and we see that it's sagging and it's coming loose, you're going to lose points on it.
And that's well within the capability of you to do, but you've really got to make sure that you break the engine, as you said, not just because of the glue, because when you're taking it off, you get all these little pieces of insulation. You'll never get it on the engine part.
Right. That's why I tell you what. The what?
So I'm glad we're having this.
Yeah.
What do you recommend for treating the hoses?
For the what?
Hoses?
Cleaning the hoses? Just a light cleaner. You just, I'll use, you can, have you?
Yeah, to get your hoses nice and black, this black to black is really good.
And that's why you get gigged, because it's too shiny.
Well, no, I know. No one complained about the haircut. No, this is good. Or any kind of black hair, Vinyl makes a product called Vinyl that does the same thing.
Yeah. I just clean them off. My 107, I actually used it was a tire finish. You know, the tire finish. I sprayed it on a rag and rubbed that all over. In my 129, I never did a thing with them. I just cleaned them off with,
Don't use tire gel.
well, that was my 107.
Yeah, I think we did that
It made it look really good. It was nice and shiny.
We did it in some show.
It was nice and shiny, but
Oh, okay.
you know, just clean them off. I use Fabuloso. I clean it all off really well, and it looks pretty good. And then when I finish the whole engine, I just take my detailer, microfiber, I spray it on, and clean it off, and and then I clean the whole front of the engine as well. You know, the top where all the metal and everything, I clean that all off pretty well, and I try to get the grease. One place, where your latch is, you'll get a grease buildup in there. So you use your detailer and microfiber to get in there and get all that grease out of that where the latch is.
I probably use a t-shirt.
Oh, here's another thing. You know that our hoods will open up completely, right? So open the doggone hood up so you have more light and you're able to work in there. On your car, you got two little latches that you got to push, and usually you ask another person to help you, and then the hood will go vertical. On this car, I just push it, and then it'll just go vertical.
But if you've got that little latch thing to hold it up,
Right.
use it.
Yeah.
Because, we've had a situation where somebody got bonked on the head.
We had a situation, somebody died.
Well, I wasn't knowing.
Yeah.
But he got bonked on the head and he died.
Yeah.
Very sudden.
He had a headache, and he just went to bed one night and didn't wake up.
He never woke up. Yeah, and he had gone to the emergency room after he got bonked on the head and they sent him home.
So anyway, make sure you put the hood up. You can get more light. You can clean it a lot easier and get to places. That's your engine. All right. So what we take to shows. All right. I'm gonna go through my kit first. Okay. I'm gonna unpack I take paper towels, and what I do, I go in the kitchen when I see that it's getting pretty low. I just grab the paper towels and I'll take those with me. That's for my windows. This is something people said, what the hell are you doing with a piece of cardboard? What are you doing with a piece of cardboard? When I clean the windows, I slide this between the windows and the dash so that when I spray the stuff on the windows, it doesn't fall on my dash. My window cleaner doesn't get on my dash. So I start on one end and I work it all the way across. Somebody in North Carolina showed me this. Just get a piece of cardboard. I took this from some snack box that we had. I'll take this to the show with me, and I'll use that just when I clean the windows for the last time. Now here's something a lot of people don't think about. I took some small bottles. This is rubbing compound. This is scratch compound, polishing compound, and this is rubbing compound. Maybe you found something when you got to the show, you saw a little scratch or a little nick or something that you can get out, rubbing compound or scratch compound, just in two little bottles. I take my vacuum cleaner. I use the same vacuum cleaner Diana has, the Dyson. It's got this little nozzle. I'll take this, and I'll take this to get down alongside the seats. I'll take this. I'm actually getting ready to move this into a smaller bottle. Oh, here's my chamois, right here. I take this, I'm going to an overnight show because I know I'm going to have to wash the car before the show. And one of the things I scout out when I get there, where is a car wash? I usually try to get one that I can use in, the nozzles, so I don't have to go through a brush with brushes. Sometimes you have to deal with the brush, and then I just use this to dry it off. I take my homemade Q-tips. I got 4 of these suckers. I think we had chicken and something or other, and just grabbed them. I'll take a scratch pen. When you get a scratch on your car, you know why it looks white and it discolors? Because you've broken the surface of the clear coat. And the light will get in and refract off. This will help seal that clear coat up and try to eliminate that. The scratch won't go away, but it won't look as obvious. I don't have it because it hasn't come in yet. I take a touch-up pen with the paint coat for my car because maybe I'm driven to the show, maybe got a little nick or ding in it, and I can touch that up because you will get, if you have a lot of them, you'll get deductions on your cars. I take one of these things, one of these roller things. It pulls out little dust and dirt. Would you open my trunk? Hand me my thing. I take a duster with me, and I'll use that just to dust the dash and stuff off. I take all my brushes. I have a little stiffer brush. See the little thing right there in the end? That's to get wax, when I used to use wax, out of little crevices, like little seams on the car. See where the bumper comes up there? On the side panel, the rear quarter panel? The seam where the bumper is. No, up on the side, the quarter panel. Yeah, that's actually to pull out any wax residue that gets in there if you're using regular wax. There's one toothbrush. This one's a little black. That's the one I use on the engine. This is the one I use on the interior. Just a little. All different sizes of brushes. That's a little broader brush that was used to get the air vents. I took a toothbrush, I cut the bristles down because there's sometimes I only need to get to a small area, so I cut the bristles down so it's nice and thin. So I take my brush kit with me. I take my Next Gen. I take my Vinyl Tex, and I just moved all this into other bottles so I fit into my kit. I told you I use Mother's because it fits into the pocket. And that's the only reason I use Mother's. And they're both the same. They both do the same thing. I use water in this one. Took my glass cleaner. I put it in a smaller bottle so it would fit into my kit. I take a little brush, maybe I did get something on the wheels. I can use this to clean it off. I take Fabuloso cleaner. I carry Mother's wax with me just to touch up the wheels if they've gotten bad. Usually they don't. I have a whole other series of detailing brushes. Back to black. I take painter's tape. Now, why do you suppose I carry this? Nope. This is what I put my windshield sticker on with. You know, you get a card for your windshield? I use this to stick the windshield sticker on.
It also takes lint off of the convertible.
And then I use gloves when I'm cleaning the car, because sometimes you don't want to get grease and stuff on your hands. I take 6 microfiber towels with me. Well, there's 2 more. It's 8. And then I take a towel with me. And I don't use this towel to dry the car. If I'm working the engine compartment, I take this towel, I fold it over, I lay it over the hood, over the bumper or the fender, and I can lean in and clean the engine, not worry about a belt buckle or anything scratching the car. That's the only reason I carry a regular towel with me, because normally I'm going to use the chamois to dry the car. This is just Like when the mechanic works on your car, he puts that protective mat on. This is my protective mat for my fenders, so if I'm leaning into the engine. If I'm moving around to the front of the engine, I'll just move this. I'll lay it over the front of the engine so I can lean in and get different parts of the car. So I don't use, if a belt or anything I have on, I'm not going to scratch the car. That's why I carry a towel. So that's pretty much everything that I take to a car show. Oh, more microfiber. You can never have enough microfiber towels. Trust me on that.
Oh, you missed one, there's one more in there.
There's more in here? Oh, there's 2 more. Trust me, microfiber is your friend. So that's my kit.
Well, I travel much lighter, is what I'm going to say. But like him, I mean, microfiber towels are definitely your friend. So this bag has this really cool compartment. I'm not going to take them all out, but this is where I'll keep, sponges and microfiber towels in here. And really, just as many as we can. Sometimes I actually will take old bath towels with me because I don't use a chamois, so that's my drying mechanism. But I always make sure that I take my trusty friend that and detailer. These 2 products are like really kind of the bare minimum that you really, and towel that you need to take with you to a show. Because you can pretty much clean anything that you have in your car with these 2 products. I mean, seriously. I will also bring tire gel because I like shiny tires, especially at a show. By the time you usually drive there, some of that shine off of the side of the tires. And I just like the way it looks, so I'll put another quick coat of that on once the car's replaced. Then this is bug and tar remover. Unless something got really buggy or whatever on the way there, I would probably not use this at a show. Okay, but it's usually in my kit just because it's there. Like that, or you bring, a old toothbrush and, cleaning something to clean with. Let's see what else we have here. Back to Black. Okay, that's another product. And leather cleaner. So, ironically, this bottle is completely empty.
Well, mine's almost empty too.
Right. So, and then the vacuum cleaner. The Dyson vacuum cleaner. I bought this thing because I had seen Doug use it. I mean, I actually bought it on the quilter that I have in my quilting room to clean up the lint and everything. But we use this Dyson all over the house and everything. But it's great for cleaning up the car, especially in the trunk of your car when you're trying to vacuum all of those little bits of ice, of lint and stuff that get in the trunk and everything. And this little, I think this is an accessory that you need to buy. Not much to really accessorize on this thing, but this thing is worth its money. And then, this crevice tool does come with the Dyson. So, the newer models run. This one doesn't run very long. It only runs for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's how I get out of mine too.
Yeah, but the newer run like closer to.
But I'm not going to spend another $300 for
No,
it.
I'm not spending another $300 on it either. And the other, I'll say downside to the Dyson is don't bother buying a charging plug and thinking that you can plug it in and then run it with it on the car.
No, it doesn't
It has
work.
to literally charge and then it'll run. So, but overall, I love this Dyson. So, it's really, really cool.